dark technology, stealing like an artist, fan-made trailers. You would think with my last 3 videos that I planned this all along, but I didn't. I kind of just fell down the rabbit hole and ended up making this instrumental horror album. And in today's video, I'm going to go over some of the details as far as the making of this project. I'll be describing how I came up with the concept, the tools I used to bring it to life, the album itself plus some of the tracks, and finally, if I would use AI again for any of my future projects. So let's get into it. So all this started with me just wanting new background music for my poster shot videos. Understanding that AI is getting better and better, I decided to check it out. So I went to one of the websites and was highly impressed with the results I received. I probably knocked out like 5 songs in the span of 10 minutes. As far as the music goes, I chose UDIO as opposed to Suno. No real reason why, it was just the first one. It had a cooler name, I guess. So I just chose that and generated all the tracks there and just had a field day. So now I'm just having fun with this thing. I'm like, yo, okay, all right, I got background tracks, man. All right, I don't have to worry about anything anymore. What about a project? Like, what else can I do with this? So first thing to me, and I know it's not an original idea, but the first idea I had was, okay, all right, let me make some type of an audio film, and what's going to be the concept? Okay, all right, well, Nightmare on Elm Street is one of my favorite series. Horror would be pretty good. You know, 80s slasher teen films are pretty iconic. A lot of people would identify with that. I think it would be a pretty cool idea. So I just started to dive into this idea, and I'm typing in prompts such as horror synth, 1980s, dream pop, anything that just reminds me of that, you know, that whole Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4, you know, Dream Warrior type of a vibe. I'm looking for moods, I'm looking for certain things, and I'm looking at like, okay, right, how can I make this transition here? What's a good way to kind of help the audience see this as far as action? And it just became a lot of fun diving down this rabbit hole. You know, a lot of blood, a lot of sweat, a lot of tears, a lot of effort went into this project. Truthfully, it took about 2 days. At the end of the 2 days of just playing around with this, I was left with 21 tracks. I spent a couple of days listening to the 21 tracks, and I was able to revise it, boil it down to 18 tracks, you know, moving some things around to make it flow a little bit better. And it sounds cohesive. I want to know if I can put some artwork to this. Like, can I give an audience the visuals of what I feel like this audio film should be? Like, who are my characters? What am I breaking down? So I checked out another site called TENSORART. Now, TENSORART, you gotta be careful. A lot of crazy stuff on this site that's been generated, but I'm just gonna leave it at that. Check it out for yourself. I'll leave all the links that I need to leave in the description, so yeah, just be warned. But what I was able to do with TENSORART, I was able to just type in these prompts to build up these characters. So I typed in things such as a white girl from a 1980s slasher film, age 16, brown long hair, bangs, pink and white striped polo shirt with some jeans. And these are the results I got, and I was highly impressed. And then I was able to just continue and make the other characters that I wanted to make. The reason I chose TENSORART is because with the research I've done, they're pretty good at making consistent characters go. So if you're interested in consistent characters, this is the site you want to go to. Before I found out about TENSORART, I was already using a program to generate my images. So the album cover does not match the characters that I made later on. But as far as the album cover goes, I was using a tool called GENCRAFT. And GENCRAFT is what gave me this image and also what gave me this image. Oh yeah, and let's not forget this image. So I put these 3 images together and then just made my own. There's little errors as far as it generating. I mean, it's called Street Road, but whatever. I compromised where I needed to. Enough of what I wanted is there. So I stylized all my images. I got all the titles in order. I got the album artwork. I've made the characters. Now let's talk about the album. The project is called Demon Street, and as I said earlier, it's based on 1980s teen slasher films. You know, it was a big genre growing up, still one of my favorites to this day. Now, I don't want to do a track by track yet. For those of you who are finding this video and you actually want to experience the album, I want to give you that opportunity to kind of go through it blindly to try to get that experience, or maybe come along with your own interpretations as far as the meaning or what the scene in each track looks like. This is just really a project where I'm asking my audience to use your visuals before I really want to explain my vision of it and do a track by track video. It might come down the line, but hold that thought. And of course, you'll let me know as well if the demand is there. But I do want to highlight some of the songs on here to kind of give you an idea of what I was going for. And I would say the album opener, The Slaying of Sarah Hewitt, is a pretty good place to start. whole concept of a film opening up during a chase. Like someone's running from an unknown entity, and then that opening scene is her death right before we get to the opening credits. So if you look at tracks 1 and 2, the slaying of Sarah Hewitt and Demon Street theme, these are supposed to be that opening kill followed by the opening credits. That's kind of the feeling I was going for that track. Another thing that I wanted to do with this, I didn't want things to flow too cleanly. Similar to a film, I wanted things to kind of cut abruptly. A good example of this is the transition between tracks 3 and 4. You know, your first introduction to a character, maybe they're just standing still, they're reading a book, swimming in a pool. You know, she's doing something that just, you know, there's a mystery behind her, we don't quite know who she is yet, followed by a cutscene of 2 teenagers driving through the neighborhood in a sports car. That's kind of what I was going for with some of this album. Some of it will fade out, others are just abrupt, just to kind of emulate the transitions that we normally would see in films. The singles that I chose off of this project are The Kills and the end track. There's also this 3-part section that's scattered throughout the album, and again, not to spoil too much, it's really to try to give the audience the idea of things are getting more and more unhinged with this particular situation. And again, that's probably the best way I can describe this without going too far into details. So again, I want to give everyone an opportunity to listen to it blindly and have your own interpretations of it, have your own visual kind of an outlet of it, listening from track to track and reading the track list and letting me know what you think about it. Just to give my thoughts on AI and would I do a project like this again? I know AI is a controversial topic right now. You know, people are worried about job loss. There's, you know, a lot of things that it could be used for from a political standpoint. There's a lot of murky waters when it comes down just to who has access and the usage. What's the content that's being put out based on what these tools are capable of doing? From a creator standpoint, it is very interesting seeing these things progress. But yeah, let me know what you think. The link for Demon Street is in the description, so go ahead and check that out. It's free on Bandcamp. Tear it apart, praise me, let me know that AI is the new Skynet, or you can let me know that this is pretty fucking cool. If you got any value out of this video, go ahead and give me a like, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.